What's up, everybody? This is Guyman Adams from Mid-City Digital, midcitydigital.com. And in today's video, I want to go over the basics of WordPress themes. Now, this is pretty much picking up where we left off in the last video where I gave the crash course on just how to install WordPress. And pretty much from there, the next thing you want to be doing is setting up your theme. You might want to change themes. You might want to, pick a different one than the first one you tried out through the Softaculous system. And so to get started, let's say I just want to point this out. We're going to go ahead and poke around in this theme for a little bit, but I want to point out, should you decide, well, I don't really like the theme that I initially chose, I want to try something different, you have a few different options. You could go back to your user area, the client area control panel, and navigate through your services. Go to the account that you were working with. We were using this one. We're using midcitysample.com. And from here, go into your cPanel. And then from here, scroll down to the Softaculous apps installer. And you can click back on WordPress just like you did initially. And it'll show this installation that you've done. And you could, if you wanted to, you could go in here. I'm not going to go all the way through this, but just to give you an idea, you can go here to edit details. And you'd pretty much leave everything the same. But then you could scroll down and pick a whole new theme right here if you want to. We're going to leave it as it is for now, because I just want to point out some real basics in this video. I don't want to go like way into detail and make this video way too long about themes, but I just want to give people an idea of how to get started. So if you wanted to change it, you could go here as one option. You could also, let's go back over here. Remember to go back and forth from the front end of your website to the back end. You can just click up here and navigate back and forth as needed. So you could also, to change the theme, you could go here to Appearance, and click on Themes. And you can see I've already kind of installed a couple of other ones here, just playing around with different things. I was working with another client, kind of showing them, what certain themes might look like for some of these. But one way to do this, you could either add one of these generic themes that comes along with every installation of WordPress. You got their 2020, their 2017, their 2019. There's others that go back years. But say you want to find a whole new one. To find a free theme, now see, this is where it gets interesting. You can either click Add New, and this will give you a list of some of the featured themes that are basically being fed into this panel right here from WordPress.org. So you could either check here, just you can scroll through forever here. You can check the popular, the latest, the favorites. You can check these. You can do a search for a theme. Or you could go to WordPress.org and click on their themes. And again, you'll see that it's basically all the same stuff. And yeah, I think what I'm going to do here, first let's back up here a little bit. So you could search here, and it's basically the same interface as here. What I want to do first, let's go back here to our dashboard. You can see we got a couple of updates. Now, just a little tip on doing updates. When you click this updates, it'll show plugins that you need to update. If you have a major WordPress update, it'll show that here. However, if you installed your site, your WordPress site through Softaculous, I would recommend staying back over here. Again, go to cPanel, scroll down, and if there's a WordPress update itself, you'll see that popping up right in this area, and you'll be able to update it from there way easier. Sometimes if you did it through the Softaculous installer and there's a WordPress update, it might throw errors if you just do it from right here. I'm not sure why that is. I've just seen it kind of hit and miss sometimes on different sites. So, but anyway, you'd be able to, like on this theme, I kind of incorrectly didn't know what this plugin was before. This is a page builder that comes with this theme, so it's kind of interesting in a way. There's way better page builders. So page builder plugins is something that I'm going to cover in a future video for sure. There's several of them. This one's okay. So we could update that. Also, you can see one of the other themes that I'd installed. It has an update as well. So you could do this right here if you wanted to. Now, if you've made any major customization, you're going to want to make sure you've got everything backed up and everything before you do this. So make sure that everything's backed up, your database, all your settings and everything. Let's go ahead and hit update on these. So there's that, then return to the WordPress updates page. Whoops, update that. There we go. So now those are updated. But anyway, so say you're getting started with your theme, and each theme, like I was saying, it's going to have some different things. A lot of times you'll get these alerts up top suggesting that you install certain plugins. Contact Form 7 is a pretty decent contact form plugin. I'll talk more about that in a future video. You got this one-click demo import you can install. That's just going to import a whole bunch of demo content for you to kind of get an idea of what you could do with your site. So that's an option. I'm going to come back to the plugins later. But so for now, if it gives you an alert like this, you could click out of this. You've also got this welcome to WordPress thing. If you want to keep this here, this will just stay here as long as you want it. Otherwise, you can hit dismiss. That'll go away. And now we've got all these other things right here on our dashboard. You have this option up here, screen options. You can turn all this stuff off. I mean, some of this is kind of useless. I mean, we've got recent comments. I guess that could be useful. At a glance, you kind of see how many posts, how many pages you have, how many comments there are, which version of WordPress and the theme and all that. This right here, WordPress events and news, this is specifically about WordPress. This is for the really hardcore WordPress nerds that want to keep up to date with whatever they're doing with, WordPress conventions and training and whatnot. So when you're up here in the screen options, you have the option, just turn that off. I find that distracting myself. We got this site health status, which is a relatively new automatic feature that just pops up here on the dashboard. Used to, you had to install a plugin to get something like this going here. So that's actually pretty useful. So I guess we could take a look at that, see what that's telling us. Let's see. I should remove some inactive plugins, inactive themes. Otherwise, it looks like everything's okay here. So that's fine. That's fine for now. See, this keeps coming up. Let's say I don't want that anymore. We could dismiss this notice for now. Get rid of that. Now, you can also, all these modules here on your dashboard, you can drag these around however you want. Let's say make at a glance up here. Can I move this over here? Something like that. You can do something like that if you wanted to. And as you add other plugins and other settings, you can add, these other, you can add additional modules here for your dashboard. So I just kind of want to go through these basics of a few things with your theme that are going to be kind of universal no matter which theme you go with. And towards the end, I'm going to install a different theme, and I'll show you that. So you've got all your posts here. And, put in a couple of demo posts here. And you can create new categories, which I think I was showing some stuff about that briefly before. So you can create, subcategories and put them underneath your main blog categories, however you want to do it. You can also delete categories. I think right now, no, we've got a post in this. So once you remove the post, you can actually delete a category, but you have to go in and delete the post first. Let me see. What's my uncategorized? It's this one. So when you first install WordPress, you're going to get some things like this little hello world thing. Oh, and as you can see, here's the little page layer page editor that came along with this theme. Like, I wasn't even expecting that when I threw this in here. But, you know, that would kind of look like this, just so you can see it. There's really way more sophisticated page builders that have a similar kind of an interface, and I definitely want to wait and talk about that another time. Anyway, so I want to delete this post. This doesn't need to be in here. It's in uncategorized. I can uncheck it there, hit update. But what I really want to do, let's go to all posts. And down here, under each one of these posts, you can edit. You can do a quick edit. You can trash it, view it. And here with this page layer plugin, I guess you could edit it from right there. With Hello World, this is just a dumb post that came along with it. So I'm just going to go ahead and trash that. And, you know, you can see over here under trash, bulk actions, delete permanently, select all, apply. You could also hit that empty trash button, whichever way you want to do it. So now we just got that. Let's go back over to categories. So I don't want this this uncategorized thing here. Why is this still here? I should be able to delete that. But I guess it's just the ones that you create. I guess this one is just staying here. I've deleted that before in other themes. I don't know why it's doing that. But anyways, your media library, this is where you're going to upload images, you know, different JPEGs, PNGs, whatever. You can see I've thrown a couple in here, just kind of some generic logos to sort of play with, and some stock photography. If you're looking for stock photography, probably one of the best ways to get free stock photography would be, I'm actually getting some of these images from pixabay.com. So this is a site where you can get a lot of, you know, free downloads of just kind of generic stock photography, you know, of whatever you want. It's free to join, and you know, you can download all kinds of stuff to use for that. So that's just a little tip right there on the side. So yeah, you can you know, add or delete these kinds of things. This is one I got from Pixabay. It's just like, whoa, some mountains, Kyrgyzstan, whatever. You know, you can get in here and, you know, change the alternative text, all this stuff if you wanted to. For most beginners, you don't need to worry about all this stuff. But, you know, you can go in here and delete it permanently if you want, edit other details, or, you know, just add new stuff if you want to from here. If you want to go ahead and load up your site with all the images you know you're going to be wanting to use, and you just hit select files, and it'll open up your computer. And, you know, you can see I've got a few other images here that I want to use. So let's let's see here. I want to look at it this way so I can preview it. So I'm going to go ahead and add that one. There's that one. And I suppose, let's see, yeah, here's a couple of cool ones I grabbed off of Pixabay. I'm going to add two of those. Hold down, on Mac it's a command click, and I guess it'd be like a control click on PC. Something to that effect. And there we got two images loading in. And so, with these images, you want to keep them to a reasonable size. You see here, 128 megabytes. That's a pretty decent amount for just a photo. That's a pretty big photo if it's that size. But you're going to want to keep your images, typically 72 DPI, sometimes maybe 150 DPI if you're trying to do like really high res kind of stuff. But there should probably be a whole other. Maybe I should do a Photoshop tutorial and kind of talk about things like that. But if you're getting them from Pixabay or another stock photography site, or if you've got a professional photographer you're working with, they'll know how to format things correctly, and you should be all right pretty much out of the box. So anyway, that's how you can do that. Your pages, I think I mentioned in the previous video, these are your static pages. And one thing I did here, I created this blog page. Whenever you create a standard blog page, this will house your actual post feed. And down under your settings, under reading, you have this option where by default it'll show your latest posts, or you can select a static page and then select your post page blog. And that's how you can house your blog always under one main thing. For now, I'm going to leave it right there, but I just wanted to kind of mention that real quick. This events page, I threw this one in here. I was experimenting with a calendar plugin, which I'll probably talk about in a future video about plugins. And that one probably needs its own little video for it. Privacy policy, sample page. I got all this stuff in here. Look, I got a draft page, so I could jump in here, and I guess I've saved this as a draft. I guess I haven't put anything in here. Let me pop open a website called Lipsum. I think it's lipsum.com, or is it .org? Yeah. So here I can generate some generic text that I can just kind of grab, just some generic Latin. You'll see this on demo sites all over the place when people are just trying to fill up space just to give an idea of what things might look like. So I'm just going to throw that there. And so if you're editing a page, and this is going to be pretty much the same on editing a page or a post, so you just use this like a typical text editor. I think most people are pretty familiar with this stuff. And I'll talk about some plugins in probably the next video about how you can extend this and have some other options up here. Let's say you want to add an image to this post. Say I want to add this image of this awesome sunset. Over here, as you're adding it, you have an option to align it. Let's align it left. And let's say we don't really want it full size. That's ginormous. Let's make it medium. Insert into post. And so that'll put it like that. So that way this is aligning that way. You can also at this point click on the image, and you could change the way that this aligns by clicking this little menu down here that you've got. Make it align right. That looks kind of cool like that. You can also hit this edit. You could change some things up here. You could have it link off to somewhere else. You could either have it link directly to the image itself, so they get the big version. You can make an attachment page, make a custom URL, where you point it to a whole other website or whatever. There's options for that. And you can also change some things around down here. You can have it where it opens the link in a new tab if you have a custom URL. That way it doesn't direct people away from your site. It just opens a whole new window. So that's pretty handy right there to have that. But we're not going to mess with that right now. I'm going to close that out. And then from here, at this point, I could preview this. Let's hit preview. And so that's kind of what that looks like. No link on it right now. So you could also hit this edit button from the front, which will take you back there. But see, now we got this open twice. So now it's saying, hey, we've got this backup version. Let's go ahead and just close this out because we still got this open over here. And so over here, At this point, you can go under this publish area, and you can leave it in a draft form if you don't want it to go public yet, or you can set it to pending review if you're working with a couple of other people and kind of got everybody double checking each other's work, which could be handy. You can set the visibility. You can set it as private to where only you see it when you're logged in and the general public doesn't see it, or you could even password protect it. So that's kind of handy too. You can also schedule the publishing. I found this handy in a lot of different cases. Like, if there's like a product release or something like that you're getting ready for, you can plan it out and actually, get it down to the time, the minute, the hour, that kind of thing. Or just keep it, just go ahead and cancel, publish immediately. I'm going to leave it as public. And let's just hit OK right there. So it's currently as a draft, so you could hit save draft, keep it as a draft, or let's just hit publish. Boom, it's published. So now you can click up here to view page, and again, this is all this stuff right here is going to be basically the same thing, even for a post. You could also set featured image, which by default, what WordPress will typically do is it will treat the first image it sees on the page as the featured image. Depending on the theme you choose, it may not render out quite like that, and you might have to actually select featured image in order to make it look right. On a static page, it's not going to matter quite as much, but the featured image will be pretty key on a post. So I'll go ahead and show that next, but let's go ahead and hit update, and you can view page right here. And so there it is. There's your link. It's all live right there. And so now we got this new sample page. So now one thing you're going to want to do in your theme, again, no matter which theme you're working with, now that you've created a new page, you're probably going to want to go to Appearance and go to Menus. And this is how we arrange our menu. It's in this stacked kind of area. So you can see I added the blog page, and I've added these couple of subcategories underneath that. And we've got our sample page that we added here. We've got this events page I'm not really messing with at the moment. But we need to add the sample 2 page. So we've got most recent. Here's the most recent one that I put up here. If you're not seeing the page that you're looking for, you can check View All, and it'll show everything that you've done. You could also add a link here to your menu directly from a post. You could create a custom link if you have like a separate website, like if you're a musician and you're setting up a page for your band, and say maybe you have a shop over on Bandcamp.com. You could put in Bandcamp.com/whatever, and then for the link text put shop, and then let's go ahead and let's add https:// just to make that secure, and then you hit add to menu, and that way you could link to an external shop if that's the way you've got it set up. If you haven't really made fully made your WordPress site yet, we'll get into a shopping cart plugin in a future video for sure. I can definitely tell you a lot about that, but that's an option if you're doing it through a separate shop, or Teespring for t-shirts or things like that. You could link it with a custom link, and you can also link to categories. That's how I put these in here. Put these categories in here. Let's jump back over here to pages. I want to add a sample page 2. Let's add that to the menu, and now when I want to rearrange these, I can just click and drag these around. I could either make this a sub-menu item right here under sample page, or make it its own page, just keep it lined up here. You could even get crazy and make it like sub-menu item if you want. So you're able to rearrange this however you want. I'm going to put it right here. And notice up here under menu name, you can name this main menu whatever you want. I'd like to just name it like this, just main menu, all one word, kind of just slightly capitalized on each word. And then you select down here primary menu, or you can create additional menus like a footer menu, sidebar menus, things like that. auxiliary menus, however you want to label them, you can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that there. Save menu. And now when we hop back over to the front end of the site, now you can see we got that sample page too. Cool. All right. Comments. I'm definitely going to talk about in the next video. I'll probably talk about a plugin to get rid of that. Let's see, because some people don't want comments on their website. So widgets, header. A lot of this stuff you don't even really need to be messing with through this appearance thing, because all you're going to be doing is going back to the same exact thing in this particular theme. If you go here to the front end, you can go to customize. And so in just about every theme, you're going to have some kind of an option like this where, when you're on the front end and you're logged in, and you can log out anytime over here. You can also edit your profile if you need to change your password or whatever. But you're going to have this top bar going across here, and most themes are going to have this customize option of some form or another. It might say theme options, something like that. But it'll give you the option to kind of get in here and start changing things around. So like on this one, let's see. Okay, so this is reflecting some of the info that we already have in our main settings menu, which you'll see a lot of it kind of mimicking itself. Like over here under your general settings, writing, reading, discussion, media, all that stuff. You might see some of that popping up underneath your customized menu as well. It depends on the theme. Some are going to be more sophisticated than others and have more sophisticated options built in. This one's kind of mixed, I've noticed as I've been playing around with it. I mean, I would think I would have more options under this general settings than just messing with the padding. That's kind of strange to me. Header top section. I would think I'd have more options than, just changing the site title color. I mean, that's really weird. But this is kind of the difference between the free themes versus premium themes, where you pay a few dollars for a really good theme that's got a lot of different features in it. So yeah, you got to kind of poke around and you'll see where you can change different colors. This color is all this. Let's change that. That's a lot better. Let's make it kind of like a little dark gray. Yeah, that's a little nicer. Hit publish. So that way that's saved. And let's go back. Header media. Yeah, I was playing around with this earlier. This header media thing is kind of weird. I couldn't really get that to do what I wanted it to. Background image. I guess that would change probably the whole site. Let's see what that one does. And again, it's going to be different in each theme. The way it reads, the way it behaves. Let's see, fit to screen. That doesn't seem to change. Oh, that's like way back up underneath that. So this is what I mean. Each theme's going to be a little different, a little weird. So let's remove that because that was kind of pointless. Homepage settings. Okay, see again, this mimics your main settings. So that's a little weird. Additional CSS is something to keep in mind for any theme that you use. Because as you start learning a little bit about CSS, you can learn more right here. Yeah, that links off to wordpress.org to tell you more about CSS. That deserves its own video, but you can customize some of the cascading style sheet is what CSS stands for. So you could change the colors and the size of text and things like that, the background colors, by adding different code in here. So that's something to keep in mind for future reference. There was one area I saw that I wanted to mess with earlier. Header banner. Okay, I guess there in this theme it's considering this whole area to be the banner. So, okay. Background image. Okay, so this is where we could change in this theme. If we wanted to keep this theme, we could change the image here. Let's make it this awesome image of a road out in California. Nice. That looks really cool. I've been on roads like that before. That's really awesome. Wow, I need a road trip looking at that. Let's go ahead and hit publish. So that kind of gives you a general idea of sort of some of the features that are in this one. Yeah, so here under this banner content, see it's different one theme to the next. You got this get started button, this no more. You'd have to like manually type in the link right here for these different things. And you can change it to be like, whatever. Whatever. Get started, whatever. But this stuff will, whenever we switch over to a different theme, you got to keep in mind in some of these custom areas, this stuff probably won't carry over. Generally, it won't. So, because they're just not using the same taxonomy in every single theme. This is bugging me. I'm not sure like what this is referring to, because I guess that's if we didn't have this image here. I guess you could do a gradient as well. Banner type. Okay, so we got background image, video, color. That's pretty neat. So, you can do some things with that. But now that we've covered that, I'm going to go ahead and jump out of here. Let's go back over to our dashboard. And again, when you're on the front page, you could, if you wanted to do it like this, you could click on themes, jump straight to the themes area. Otherwise, you come over here to the back end and you click on appearance themes, and then kind of like I started to point out, you could search for new themes. So I'm going to add a theme that I've used on a couple of different websites before. I found this one. I was looking it up earlier. Yeah, Hestia. This one works pretty well on WooCommerce themes, and WooCommerce is a super powerful shopping cart plugin. That's gonna deserve like several different videos to talk about that one properly. But I've actually used this Hestia theme on a couple of different e-commerce websites, and I've changed it around multiple different ways before. So just as an example, this is how you would install it, or any other theme that you wanted to. But this one's pretty flexible. I really dig this one. So you can do a live preview here, or you can click into the details. Now, when you add a new theme, I kind of jumping ahead of myself a little bit. You should look at how many stars it's got. I mean, hopefully it's a 5-star theme. I wouldn't get anything less than a 4-star. You can also, when you're over on WordPress, looking at different themes, like look, here's Hestia right here. You can actually read a lot more details on WordPress.org about any given theme, and you're probably going to want to like check out some of the reviews and stuff. This has a lot of information here. Let's see all the ratings. And yeah, you can start reading through and seeing what people are actually saying about it. Well, this one says still not perfect, but they gave it 5 stars anyway. But go through and kind of check what people are saying. Let's hit the reviews over here. Is that what we're looking at? There's a 4-star reviews. Okay. They've changed a little bit of this around since last I was really actually looking at WordPress.org. A lot of this information used to be you'd be able to see reviews through your own backend interface. They've changed something around over the last couple of versions of WordPress, but so it looks super generic in this preview. But here's the thing. So when you're ready, you can go ahead and activate it. Now keep in mind, since I've got this Ignite Up plugin installed and enabled, the general public is not going to be seeing me switch between these themes. So that's why I mentioned the Ignite Up plugin in that initial WordPress installation video, because I mean it's really lame when you're like trying to just build your site and you've already got, say, friends or colleagues poking in on the public version of the site going, hey, what are you doing? It's changing all the time. What's going on? You want to be able to focus, So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look here. Now that we've activated that, we could go ahead and click here. So this is sort of what it looks like now. So you see it kept the basic information, all this. It's kept all of this stuff. Now, one thing you'll notice about Hestia that I really like, this one comes automatically with a sticky menu. A lot of themes don't have that. So a lot of times, if you don't have that automatically in there, then you'll have to add a sticky menu plugin, which can be a pain in the butt. So again, Hestia gives us this option up here, to import demo content. I don't want to mess with that at the moment, but the problem with doing that is it's just going to add all these different entries and new content that, once you're ready to go, you're probably going to have to go back in and delete all that import content, and it's just kind of a pain in the butt. But you can see we could either customize the theme here, jump back over here. We can customize right here. And now this theme has a lot more interesting stuff in here. Now, as you can see, you can do this pro version, and I can't remember exactly how much this costs, but you get a few extra bells and whistles when you go this route. So you'll see a lot of themes have a pro version that you pay for, and you can get direct support from them on the theme itself if you're having trouble with it or whatever. But like here, look, I already have more options in this free version of this theme where I can actually put a logo up here. That other theme wasn't giving me that option for some reason. I'd have to go put that in manually through the code. So here I can select logo. Do I want to do the white version? Or yeah, we'll do that one. That should probably work. I'm going to skip cropping on this. Oh, and so we can't really see that. I guess I'll do, hold on, actually I'm going to go over here. I'm going to check appearance settings. See, this gives us more options here with sidebar layouts. That's kind of cool. I was looking for this. No, that's not what I'm looking for quite yet. All right, fine. I'll just go ahead and remove that. I'm going to select the logo. I'm going to go with this one. And again, skip cropping. Boom. There's our little sample company logo. And I'm going to, let's see what. So again, we can save this whole thing as a draft if you click this little gear icon right there. And or you could schedule it or whatever, but it's not what we're doing right now. We'll just hit publish. And you can see, like here, you can't really see this here, but I've already previously set this up. Get a little 512 by 512 icon, or your logo, whatever it is, and you can put that there. That way, that logo will show up in your tab up here. Let's see. Header options. Very top bar. We don't have that enabled. So we could have this extra top bar where you'll see a lot of websites where they'll have like their phone number or some other little widgets up here. You could add like social media icon widgets up there just by clicking this. It opens up your whole widget options. We're not going to do that. Navigation. So your navigation in this theme, you could have it like this is pretty typical. You have your logo here and then your menus over here. Sometimes people want to do it like this, where the logo's totally centered. You might want to do it like this, where you have a space where you can put a banner ad of some kind, and then you have your menu down here. So you have different options there. You can menu search. A lot of themes do not have menu search, which is really handy for a lot of people. A lot of times the menu or the actual search is over on the sidebar or somewhere else, and your viewers might be looking for it in the main menu. So we got that option in this theme. Header settings. So this is going to be controlling this area of the sample company website. I guess you're not really seeing much difference there on that. There we go. So this is going to be how it looks on your post. So it looks like we got it randomizing uploaded headers right here. We could also change this header gradient. There we go. That's interesting. I'm going to put that navigation back to that. Now let's keep poking around here. Look, we got footer options in this theme. We didn't have that in the other one. So look, here I can actually change this, like where it says Hestia powered by WordPress. I could put it, powered by Mid-City Digital. And it'll just change that. Obviously you'd have to go in, obviously put a correct link and, correct name and all that, but whatever. You can change your blog settings. So if we go to our main blog, okay, I got to change some settings on that. Let's see. Oh, I see what's going on here. Yeah. This is again going to our homepage settings, static page. The interesting thing about setting a static homepage, you can really customize a whole static homepage. There we go. That's how the blog's supposed to look. Okay. Blog settings. So we've got it set on this. Let me put it back to excerpt. So that way it only shows part of it, and then you can read more. Guess we could do it like that. Doesn't really make a difference because I don't have a thumbnail for this one. You clearly have other options when you go the pro route. You could do infinite scroll, or you could do numbered, where it'd be like page 1, page 2. You could set it to different categories. That's pretty cool. Menus, so you can change your menu locations around. Widgets. I don't have any footer widgets. Looks like we're mimicking my top menu. Oh, that's in the other footer settings. Well, anyway. And again, just like I mentioned before, you've got this option of additional CSS for, you really want to start changing some stuff around, making different colors and whatnot. Let me go back over here. Let's see, general settings. I'm going to set that back with the sidebar again. Oh, you can enable scroll to top, which I guess will pop up when, let's click into one of these. Yeah, you get this nice little scroll to top button right here with this particular theme. And I do remember on the Pro version, there's some really cool extra features for working on your main home page, which now we've changed it around to be like that. So let's flip that back to that. Let's hop back over here. So that's still just going to be showing that by default because we don't have a proper home page. So let's go ahead and hit publish. And we can close that out. Cool, so that's what that looks like currently. So it's kind of coming together a lot cooler, a lot slicker. And if I remember correctly, this is another one of those themes where if you scrunch it up, it actually ends up being totally compatible with mobile devices, and it'll put your menu over here. So, oh, this is something I know that in the settings you can change the color of this so it doesn't have to be pink. Obviously this particular theme just has pink as one of its default button colors. But anyway, I kind of don't want to get too lost in the weeds with this. I've probably already gone a little too far, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea of how you can go in and get a new theme and start setting some things up for yourself, and just out of the box be able to start working with your WordPress website. And this is again with free themes. The Pro version of this probably deserves a whole other video because I've done some pretty complicated stuff with it before, including adding additional style sheet information and really tweaking out the menus and adding all kinds of different plugins. And this one works really well with shopping cart plugins, so I would definitely look into that if I were you. But anyway, yeah, so there's all these extra things you can add with this one, and it's really interesting. I've enjoyed working with it before. So I hope this video has helped, and probably the next video I'm going to talk more specifically about a handful of plugins that you can use to get started that might be helpful. And until next time, take care.